Most people prefer predictability to speed. Imagine yourselves in the following two scenarios. In the first scenario, you're driving your car down a highway and you're able to go at a slow but constant rate of speed, say 60 kilometers per hour. In the second scenario, you're in a much more crowded highway, and sometimes there's little gaps where you can go up to 120 kilometers per hour, but other times you grind to a complete halt and you wait, and you have no idea how long till the traffic starts moving again. Now that second scenario drives most people crazy. You're stressed, you're tense because you don't know how long it's going to take you to get to your destination. It's very hard to predict when you might arrive, at least before the advent of tools like Google Maps and Waze. In the first scenario, constant rate of speed, you're much more calm, you feel okay because although you might not be going quite as fast as you wish you were going, you can predict pretty well how long it's going to take you to arrive at your destination. So in trying to make plans and commitments, predictability is more useful than speed. And the exact same thing holds true in software development. Most people would rather work with a team that can predictably produce a consistent amount of finished software every week than a team that some weeks gives you a whole bunch of software that's useful and some weeks gives you nothing or hardly anything. And in the Agile world, we look at the predictability of a team with the metric of velocity. We define velocity as the number of stories or story points that a team can finish in a given iteration. In other words, the amount of running tested software that a team can produce in a regular time increment. And just like in the definition of velocity in physics, we don't care about the sheer speed at which a team is going. What we care about is the rate of change, the rate at which a team is able to add on additional working features to a system that's already working. And that's why velocity turns out to be such a useful metric, because we're not looking at activity, we're looking at output. There's many things that go on as a team works together over an iteration to produce an increment of working software. And we don't have to model each individual's behavior, how much work time, how much slack time, how much break time, how many meetings they go to. We don't have to even understand all that as long as we can observe the output of the team. And if that output becomes consistent over time, then we can use it to make plans. Because once a team has a predictable velocity, then we have a great tool for continually managing expectations all the way around. The metric of velocity reminds us that the team does have a fixed capacity, and it allows us to express that capacity in a simple and easy to understand way. And once we understand that and remember that, then velocity can be a predictor of how much we can actually hope to accomplish in the future. And once we have a predictable velocity, then all of a sudden it changes the conversation. It takes away the tendency of the team to get frustrated with the customer for always changing their mind, or for the customer to get frustrated with the team because they just need to work harder and buckle down and do what they agreed to do up front. If we all are aligned around this metric of velocity and what the velocity is, and as long as we trust that and trust that the team is working as hard as they know how, then it becomes a shared problem. Then we look together at the fixed capacity. Here's how many iterations we have. Here's the team's capacity over the iterations. What's the best use we can get for that amount of work? So in summary, a predictable velocity is like the guardrails on an Agile approach. Yes, we want to welcome learning. Yes, we embrace change and new ideas, but we have these parameters. We can add as many story points as you want into the release, but we've got to take an equivalent amount of story points out if you want a realistic commitment and plan. So predictable velocity is the key for us to be able to make responsible plans and commitments while still following an Agile approach.